Hi, and welcome to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hershey from Salmon's Transfer, located in Vancouver, British Columbia. Today, I have some fantastic guests. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Becca.
I'm Oscar. We're the owners of Rambo 121.
Okay, and where are you guys located out of?
We are located in Buckeye, Arizona, where it's always sunny.
Where it's always sunny. Oh, it's raining here in Vancouver, so you guys are very blessed. Now, can you share with me a little bit of the origin story of the name? Because when I think of Rambo 121, I'm like automatically thinking of like Sylvester Stallone, like Rambo, like, you guys have like movers that are coming out like guns ablazing to like move everybody's furniture. What created that name Rambo?
Actually, Oscar and I, we were one of the rare nice nights in Arizona. We were sitting out in our garage just talking how we always do. And Oscar had decided that he was going to start a company. He didn't know what kind of company. He didn't know what he was going to be doing. He didn't know what he was going to call it. But he said, hey, help me come up with a name for it. And I said, well, we sat for about 20, 30 minutes. And
we came up with all the stupid names, like all the normal names nobody liked. And we're like, yeah, this is dumb. And then we were just sitting there. And then she tells me, hey, our name spells Rambo. And I was like, how'd you get that? And then explain to him.
So my first name is Rebecca.
Okay.
We have a son named Axel. We
Okay.
have a daughter named Maddie. We have another daughter named Braylee, and then Oscar starts with an O. So all of the first letters of our first names spell out the word Rambo.
So for all of your listeners out there, make sure that when you're having children, you can make sure you can spell at least a word out.
Yes. Yeah, make sure you have
with
in there.
Yeah, with all our kids, I was thinking about it last night going, oh man, I'm like, I got a W, I got a B, I got an M, another M with a K. Like it's going to be like a Mod Podge of a company name.
Hey, it happens, man.
Yeah, it just worked out because we were arguing about our middle daughter's name. She wanted it to be Presley, and I didn't like Presley, so I wanted it to be Maddie. So we argued, and then we came up with Maddie. And then eventually, that's how we found out Rambo came up.
That's awesome. And then what about the 121?
So, fun fact, Oscar went down to the location where you put your business name on a license. You
get your LLC. So I went down there to get that.
Told him that Rambo was already taken, so he had to come up with something else. And it just so happened that our oldest daughter was born in January 1. Okay. Our middle daughter was born in February 2. Yeah. And our son was born in January 1. Rambo 121.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I was a little nervous. I was coming back. I was like, oh, how do I explain this to her? Because I just came up with it on the fly, just like, how do I change the name without changing it? What can I add to it without messing it up? And then I came back. I was like, I had to make it Rambo 121. And she was like, Rambo 121. And then I explained it to her how I came up with the 121.
I love it. It's not thinking about the moving industry of going, well, we're one-to-one customers. We're always, pressing ourselves in that one-to-one service. It's like, no. Our kid was born in January, and then we had a February, and then we had another January. So it's 1-to-1. Come on, babe. Like, didn't you know this?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we knew from the very beginning that, it was our family through and through that, right. We go 5. We're 5 deep, and that's how we do it. And we started this for our kids. We started it for our family, and we were sticking with it the entire way.
Yep.
So Rambo 121 was born.
Amazing.
We put our name out there.
Every
we
time.
Go out there, we put our name out there. So that's why we hold our guys to a high standard. That's why we hold ourselves to a high standard. That's why we treat our customers like family,
So your company has been around for how many years now?
We're going on 4.
4 years. So you're really punching through that growth period of, the starting program. What was it like to purchase your first truck? Because, you want to kind of get into that situation. I'd love to hear this story.
I mean, if you want to get me in trouble, yes. I don't recommend anybody out there that's listening. So don't take my story and run with it. I was lucky enough to have her. So
My husband is lucky every single day. He called me the week of our wedding. The week of our wedding. Let me mind you, we got married on a Tuesday. So when I said the week of our wedding, it had to, within 72 hours of our wedding, I do every way, shape, and form. My husband calls me and says, hey, I need you to bring me up 10 grand. Excuse me? And he said, yeah, I need $10,000. I'm buying a truck. I said, what the hell kind of truck are you buying? He said, oh, a moving truck. I said, where are you moving to? And why do you need to buy a truck for $10,000? No, he decided to open and start our company and purchase our very first moving truck within 72 hours of our wedding. So when I took him up the money for his truck, he also got a real fun chewing in front of everybody that was around.
I told her, I was like, you just trust me with this. I'll give us our 10 grand back plus more. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know how it's going to happen, but there's a box truck. It has a lift gate. Everybody needs a truck. I'll figure it out. And
so when you're filling out this wedding registry, you're like, okay, we need towels, we need maybe some like appliances, also a moving truck. Let's just toss that into the mix.
Kids, our registry got real fun real quick.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Yeah. So I used half the house fund for a moving truck, and I had to put the house fund on hold. So, like I said, I don't recommend this to everybody out there, but I took it.
But in reality, when you're looking at it, I mean, you're marrying someone super special that want to do this with you and has the trust and confidence in you. And I think that is really key when you look at moving companies that are involved with a husband and wife team. And someone that wants to go all in, like you are really going all in, right? So there's people that have to hit rock bottom, but there's also people that, say, I want to do this. Oh, I want to start this business, or I want to start whatever situation they're in their lives. Everybody has ideas, but the execution of that idea is sometimes impossible, or sometimes it just goes by the wayside, right? I mean, when you're going 2 feet in, that is the epitome. Like that's the perfect example of saying, hey, babe, like this is something we want to do. As much as you probably were dreading it.
He just went all in. Hey, bring me 10 grand. Excuse
That's
right. Excuse me.
Well,
And what was the payoff?
Tremendous.
It hasn't. The company nor has Oscar let me down yet. I'll just say that.
We have another moving truck now. We have a house.
I've made my money back.
Right.
So
we're still married on good days.
So then it works.
Yeah.
Now, being in the area that you are, you're very close to Phoenix, Scottsdale. You're in that Arizona hub. I know that you're a little bit outside. What city is your main office located in?
We're actually located in Buckeye, Arizona. So we're on the west side of the valley. We're probably the last major city you're going to hit before you hit California. So
okay, and you're still dealing with some big players in that area.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think has established your company different than the others? One, because, for many guys out there, ones that are listening, they're going, I really want to start a moving company. I really want to work in an area that I live close to. Some of the ones that I've had on the show, they said, well, I grew up in this area, or I looked at this area because it was an ideal spot. It was close to universities or close to large business corporations. Like there's an Amazon or a large company that I can get work from. And that has then prompted them to go, hey, I want to start a moving company here. Even if they might live 50 miles away, 60 miles away, this is where they want to start it. what made you decide saying, hey, babe, we're going to do this moving company. This is what we want to start. Did you do any research on the moving companies around you? Did you just wing it up?
No, we just went out there.
Aimed for the stars because the worst case scenario, we were hitting the moon.
And then we live in Buckeye, so we know that it was a small community. We knew a lot of people that would support us. And then not only that, if you take a look around, Buckeye is the fastest growing city in Arizona so far. So, we were just popping up houses after houses. So I don't know if it was luck, draw, I don't know what it was, but we were at the right place at the right time. Buckeye's booming. It's growing huge. And then Phoenix was oversaturated anyways with all the moving companies. So it's just, let's start off small and work our way in. You know what I mean? Because if we can't even take care of the small things, we don't need to be competing with the big guys or even trying to put our names out there. But
and choosing a city like that, it's probably helped you as a company stand out. What do you find were some of the challenges that you faced when you first started? Because now, okay, great, you're married, right? You got some kids coming on. You got that one truck. What challenges were you faced with? Because Oscar is probably jumping on the truck every day, or he's probably managing it, but he obviously wants to get to a point where he's hiring some people. So what were some of those beginning challenges that you faced as a business owner?
Hold on. That one would probably be because the bigger companies, they were lucky enough, they had more trucks. They could reduce their prices because they had 5 other trucks going out and doing other jobs. So they could reduce prices on this one little specific job. That was the only job that Oscar and I had, man. And we couldn't reduce our prices because then we wouldn't be doing any type of service for anybody. And it just didn't make sense. So our biggest issue from the very beginning was not necessarily making our name out there, but making sure our name had the A+ reputation behind it to make us stand out from the big companies. So when we don't drop our prices like the big companies do, this is why we're not dropping our prices, because you are our customer. You are our family. And when we show up to a job, you're the only person that matters.
And to tell you the truth, honestly, what sets us apart is we're not after just the dollar. So when we're done moving, when we move your stuff, if your desk has dust on it, we'll wipe down your whole entire desk and make sure it's clean before we pad wrap it and shrink it up. So when it gets to your new place, you don't have old dust going into your new place. We'll vacuum or sweep the floors. You know what I mean? No extra cost, just to help out. If there's stuff going on, that's around the house that they need help with that they didn't even think of, we go out of our way to make sure that it happens. So there's no stress because they're already stressed out enough. It's moving. It's hard. So
now, I know that when I was getting started in the moving company, I would be on the truck. So it was a big difference when I was there because it's like, oh, the owner's there, right? Mm-hmm. The manager's there, somebody that has that authority to make those changes or those actions going, hey guys, go wipe down this table, go clean this up. I still see some tape on the floor, so go pick that up because it's your company. Yeah. How have you taken that work ethic, hey guys, when you're on a job site and you see that table dusty, make sure it's wiped down if you're not there? Have you placed in this policy or this type of expectation with your crews when you hire them and go through the training?
Before they even get signed on, before anything even happens or we move forward, we let them know we're a 5-star company. We have expectations. If you can't deal with it or you don't want to live up to it or it's too much for you, that's fine. We don't mind. But we are looking for a specific type of person. And the guy that I have leading the team now, he was under my wing for almost a year and a half. He's followed me every day, every job. So he knows exactly how I work, what I do. I've given him a list of procedures and everything. So if he forgets something or needs some help, he's got that list to fall back on and know what his exact job duties are and what he's supposed to do on the job and what we expect.
Gotcha. And then you have this like documented down for the guys, and they follow. Becca's laughing. She's like, "Oh yeah, it was like a scrap piece of paper on a napkin, and we have it in like a nice laminated piece of paper."
Day, Becca. Yep, I'm on it, guys. I see what you're doing. Hold on. So every day is a learning day. And
every day.
There is never a smooth day. And if you have a smooth day, my hat goes off to you because it is exciting.
It is. And then we also like to tell our guys thank you by giving them bonuses, by giving them little treats, by buying them lunch, just doing the little things, that other companies, like when you work for a big box company or like Walmart or something, you're just a number. You just show up and clock out. We show our guys we appreciate them, and if they go out and work hard for us, we'll go out and do the same thing for them.
They are
It's nice how you can kind of keep that as like a family, right? Like you really treat each other. It's like, all right, there's another cousin, right? One big family. Yeah. You don't have to invite that cousin to the barbecue, but you kind of make out well. So that also then kind of relies into, as a family-run business, how do you balance those dynamics? So from personal to professional life, I've had another couple couples on here where, they talk about how that works from, go like when the clock stops or the clock doesn't stop, as to what it looks like, at home, because every day is moving. So that's all you're really talking about. How does it work for you guys, and what kind of dynamic do you have?
There are days that our clock stops and I would like to come home and tell my husband how much of a jerk my boss was that day. Or there are days that I want to go into the office and tell my boss how big of a jerk my husband was that night. And there is no stopping. Our clock does not turn off.
No.
Oscar is 24/7. I think I'm the only one that actually has a clock. And that is mostly because we have 3 kids and they need us just as much as the company does. So Oscar tackles one, I tackle the other. We usually sit down and
meet in the middle.
Oscar still talks work. I tell him to shut up and turn it off. And
right. And how old are your kids?
We're still young, so we're still going to grow. If you plan on starting a moving company or any kind of company and you have a family, just know that the first few years will be rocky. Everything's going to be mixed and involved. But as we're growing and as we're hiring people, we're taking a lot more off of our plate slowly but surely. So we are starting to get that separation, but at this moment, it's still not.
And there's plenty of moving company owners out there that are young families. They're ambitious. They're all trying to grow their family and also their business. How old are your children?
We have 13, 7, and 5.
13, 7, and 5. Okay, so you have a 13-year-old in the works to start learning how to pack and move.
Well,
she's actually his road buddy. So anytime he goes over the road, she is right there beside him the whole way. That's their path. That is their thing. And she's learning how to do it. She's learning what mom and dad expect. And she loves it. She's seeing the world from the truck.
Yep.
Right. Well, and I think if you can have that type of balance with your children, I love bringing my son to the office. We try and find some type of activities. He's only 6. So, and we have 3 kids too. So I totally get what you guys are talking about. And it's really important to allow yourself that work-life balance. I find if you can have that dynamic as a young family, as a family that is trying to grow their business, moving or not moving, you really need to cherish those moments. I mean, your daughter's probably going to look back at these days and going, wow, it wasn't so much my dad out there working all the time. He brought me along and we got to spend all this one-on-one time together. And it's precious. I think it's like one of those, it's like the teary-eyed, opportunities that you don't think about sometimes. You're just like, all right, let's go, babe. Like, all right, let's go. It's time to get in the truck. It's, that really awesome one-on-one time, which I think she's really going to appreciate as she gets older.
Yeah, and I don't think she realizes how much I appreciate it because, like you said, it's that one-on-one. We can stop whatever state we want to. We can stay wherever we want to. Hey, the Grand Canyon's over here. Let's go check it out. Hey, let's go check out the Washington Monument. Wherever we're at, whatever state we're in, we always
they hit up at least one big monument or something of her choosing, and as long as there's good parking. If not, they might be walking a couple miles.
Sure.
So.
But they always at least stop and do one thing, especially even on the shorter trips, again, because we're right next door to California. Even not too long ago, Oscar had a drop-off over in California. So we decided to make it a family quick turn and burn. So we loaded up the whole gang because they had never even been to the beach, our kids.
Right.
So we were going straight to Laguna Beach.
Yep.
So we were like, well, there we go.
And it was nice.
Yeah.
It was
so
way to do it.
Everyone carried their weight. And as long as you sit back, shut up, and enjoy the ride, then you're going to have a great trip. Yeah. We went to the beach. We had a great dinner and even stopped and did one other thing on the way out. So it was fun. It was exciting, and the kids get to mark stuff off.
For sure. Now, and you probably have some funny stories when it comes to that as well, too.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a situation with a customer that hasn't paid the bill?
Yes.
Like, have you ever had that situation? I mean, especially when you're starting off a business and you're in the moving world, I can remember it's, don't worry about it. We won't take your credit card yet. Sometimes you don't even have a credit card machine because you're just like hoping to just get a check or cash. And you're just trying to get that cash flow kind of going in. And for any IRS that's listening, we do everything by the books.
Everything by the book.
Everything by the books.
Every penny is counted for.
That's right. But in reality, there are customers out there that kind of sometimes want to stiff you on the bill. Have you been in a situation like that?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
It happens more than you would think, honestly.
Yes.
And what do you end up doing in that situation?
Well, honestly, it is my job to, before we turn into the big, mean, nasty, evil people, because, we're so intimidating,
You look very intimidating.
This is the guard dog.
It's my job to attempt to reach out to figure out where the disconnect was. Where are we not seeing eye to eye? Where is our miscommunication? Because if it is, in fact, on my end, I can straighten it up. I can solve any issues. I can take care of any issues.
Discounts, customer service.
Sure.
Whatever the problem may be.
And unfortunately, that kind of scenario just doesn't always work. Even if you are paid by credit card or debit or anything else,
they back charge you, and then it's a whole legal process to go through that and try to get it all back. And then the credit card companies, I don't know if most people realize this, they're backed by the customer, so they go off of the customer side, not the merchant side. So
sure,
they side with the customer more times than the merchant. So unfortunately, sometimes you do have to go through the legal battle and go through small claims or
right.
A legal battle.
Yeah, which is long. Sometimes you might not even still get paid even after all the money you put into it. So, I mean, you got to choose your battles wisely. I mean, if it's like $100 or something, you may want to choose your battle on that one. If you're in it a couple grand, then yeah, you might want to take the time, to go through the legal battle and figure out what you need to do. Especially when you're first starting, make sure you get paid because every penny counts. You need the money. You can't get another rental truck or pay your guys or get any of the materials you need if you don't get them right away. So just make sure.
The process is real. Now, I did notice on your website, though, that you offer financing through like a company for, I would assume, customers that are looking to, but also can't afford maybe an expensive move, several $1,000s. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because to me, for those that are listening and those that have moving companies, that might even be another option that they would like to offer on their website.
So I'm going to touch bases on this one, again, only because I'm in the office. But honestly, right now, especially in this economy, I mean, people are pinching their pennies. And, that unfortunately, that even goes for companies, big name companies, small companies. And I hate to say it, but if we can offer a service that keeps our customers still coming and feeling comfortable with us and still wanting to give us the opportunity, then guess what? We are going to do anything that we can to make it easy for you while still getting the opportunity to show you why you picked a professional moving company, why you are spending the money on these luxurious things, because most people can move themselves. But in Arizona, it's so hot and it's so not fun to move, and people don't do it. At the same time, we understand that you might not always have a spouse. You might not always have a
friend with a truck,
top paying job. So again, if we can do anything in our power to help you, we're not the big bad evil people. So,
and was there a website or was there somewhere that you found that has this offering of service?
So actually our CRM, the CRM that we use, they offered that, and they reached out to us and said, hey, would you be interested in offering this to your customers? Would this help out? And so I read over everything, terms, conditions, everything, and I seen it, and it looked good. So I was like, why don't we give it a shot? Because I don't believe that everybody is different in a sense of, like, they're moving. Some people can't afford it, so they go with U-Haul, which there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you're not a professional packer. You spend a lot of money on your flat screen TVs, your fancy car, clothes, and everything that you have. If you don't know how to pack that and move it properly, you're going to damage it, and you're going to have to spend more money to replace it anyway. So even if you don't make a lot of money, we still want to offer that service to everybody so that they can see why there's a difference of doing it yourself and having somebody come do it for you.
And what CRM system are you guys using?
We use OnQ.
OnQ?
Yes.
Okay. And so that CRM system offers the financial options on there. I think for other listeners that are tuning in, I would check it out. Go either Google or maybe even reach out to that CRM software and see what they're using. Always check out Rambo 121, see on their site the type of financial company that they use as well too, because it can definitely help. And you guys are right. I mean, if we can try and help out customers with some equal payment plans that you don't have to really worry about, and it benefits you because it might get you more work when that customer knows, oh, great, I don't have to spend $2,000 on this move, or maybe even $500. Because even sometimes like $500 to move is a lot of money for anybody, really.
We actually have one specific customer right now, and she had originally gone with a big named company to do her move. Well, unfortunately, that big name company, how can I say it respectfully, did not hold up to their end of the deal. They did not meet her standards. So she called us in a whim, and Oscar and the crew got out there, took care of everything for her right off the bat. And she calls me every single day and she says, Becca, look, I know I'm going into debt with you guys and I love every bit of it, because I'd rather give you guys every penny that I have rather than the other company who wasn't ever willing to work with me. And she is fortunately on a payment plan. She loves it. She is a single mom. And we send her the payment link once every 2 weeks. She makes 2 weeks worth of payments on that one link. We don't call her with any bad news. She calls us, hey, can I get my payment link a little bit early this week? You got it. It's right on here. It's on its way.
And then honestly, it just helps with cash flow. A lot of people want to get paid right away, which is, you want to get paid for your job. It makes sense. But if you got that cash flow coming in, say you didn't book a job or a couple jobs less that week than other times that you're used to, at least you got that cash flow of the customer making a payment coming in. So, I mean, it covers you. So you always got that little bit of cushion. And it helps a lot.
Now, where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 years? So you're 4 years in, let's even say like 6 years, right? That's a big jump of 6 years. But where do you guys see Rambo 121? Is it expanding? Is it just focusing on in Buckeye to kind of grow that area? Where do you guys see yourselves as a company in 5 to 6 years?
I would like to expand. Possibly franchise, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really looked on that side of it. But we do want to expand. We want to have a couple of central hubs across the United States, so it makes it easier doing the long distance so we can offer better pricing. Have pod style operations as well. Honestly, just having the business run itself.
I would like a clock.
Yeah.
That's not a 5 or 6 year goal. That's like you have 6 weeks. Like let's get a clock in.
I've tried that. He tells me all the time, you only have to remind me every 18 months.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's on the to-do list.
So I'm gonna move out to Buckeye. I just found my house. I live in California and I'm moving to Arizona. And I really want to go with a reputable moving company. I run into you two and your 3 kids in the elevator, and we start talking moving. Your 5-year-old's actually quiet so that I can hear you. And you have 45 seconds to give me an elevator pitch.
Ooh, elevator pitch. We're putting us on the spot.
You ready?
Wow.
And go.
Well.
You gonna go or you want me to?
Ahead.
Hi, I'm Becca. This is Oscar. We understand you're moving from California to Arizona. Good for you.
That's a smart choice.
What part are you moving to? We hit the basics. Well, hey, we just happen to be the owners of Rambo 121. We are the fastest growing
Moving
company in Buckeye, Arizona. We actually just won Platinum Award.
Wow. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here's our business card. Feel free to read all the information. And we don't have to sit here and flaunt about our own company. The reviews do it for us.
Yeah, don't base us off our good reviews. Base us off our bad reviews. So.
And if you find one, you let me know.
So.
We don't.
Oh, I like that.
We don't really sell ourselves. We are our company.
Yeah,
and
right.
We talk to everybody like they are humans. Nobody is above anybody. We would love the opportunity to show you why we are a 5-star company, why we are Platinum in Buckeye, and why we are one of the fastest growing companies in the entire state of Arizona.
Oh, I like it. Look at that.
We'll floor you.
Yeah. We'll let our.
That's great. That's awesome, you guys. That wraps up our episode today with Oscar and Becca from Rambo 121. Clearly, the fastest growing moving company in Buckeye, Arizona, and also Platinum winner and 5-star Google review connoisseurs that are just rolling in. Based on reputation and word of mouth. You don't even have to talk to the owners. You just have to read the reviews.
Yes.
You got it.
Thank you guys for coming on the show today. And it was a real pleasure to get to know you guys both a little bit more. And thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it.
No problem. All right. And there you have it, guys. I am your host, Mark Hershey with Movified. Check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are everywhere. Follow us on Instagram and also check us out on Facebook. Thank you and have a great day.